Hey everybody, I'm here with one of my favorite clients, Sarah. She owns a successful Medspa. Last month, we helped her do $91,000 in 1 month, and she only started working with us 60 days ago. 60 days ago, before she started working with us, she was doing an average of around $10,000 a month. So we helped her go from $10,000 a month all the way into $91,000 a month. I really wanted to do a client success interview with Sarah to interview her on two things. One, her consultation process, which she's amazing at. And second, I think her hiring and training process, because only after 2 weeks of working with us, we got her so busy. She already started like hiring people. So I would love to know more about that. How are you doing today, Sarah?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Freddie. This is such an honor.
Thank you for joining, Sarah. To get started, could you please give us a 2 minutes, share with us for 2 minutes about your background, what got you into the med business to begin with?
Yes, so I've been a business entrepreneur since 2004 and always
Oh,
look for
wow.
opportunities.
Yeah.
I own a couple of other businesses right now. However, I went to see a friend of mine and she invited me into her space and I got really intrigued and I am
Mm-hmm.
all about wellness. And when she shared that these are non-invasive treatments, and I was just really intrigued. And I came home and for 2 weeks, I was thinking about this business. And
Wow.
all of a sudden, I was like, okay, this is where God wants me. I think I just really need to
Uh,
start this. Yeah.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Sarah. Now, again, I know that you and your team are amazing at your consultation processes and in converting the patients into like treatment plans. Can you walk us through your consultation process and what things you do even before your consultation? I know you were sharing with me earlier that you have like an intake form that you send them before the appointment so you can get like their motivation level, get like how interested and motivated they are. So it kind of like helps you prepare for the consult and kind of like gives you like an idea of them. I'm curious to know more about that and also the rest of the consultation process. And also one more question. What percentage of them actually fill the full intake form before they show up? I'm curious to hear that too. Because maybe we can
Yeah.
incorporate into our system so we send them and take care of that part for you.
Yeah, so that's really helped us and it saves us a lot of time, Freddie,
Mm-hmm.
in the studio because when they come in, if they don't fill out the contraindication forms, we actually hop on the phone and call them and just say, we're so
Mm-hmm.
excited to see you. Have you seen those forms come through in a text message? Would you be kind enough to just fill them out? It's going to take you 2 seconds and I can stay on the phone to help you fill those out
Nice.
if you would like to do it. So, as far as percentage, I would say probably 10 to 15% people do not fill those out.
Okay.
And that takes a little bit extra time when they come in. And we've only had a couple of people that you guys have sent us that we had to refuse the treatment. So that
Yeah.
really saves a lot of time because if
Yeah.
they have something that would be a contraindication for body contouring,
Mm-hmm.
then you already know and you're
Yeah.
saving the client a trip and you're saving yourself some,
Yeah,
time as well.
time. But that's nice. So
Yeah.
like 85 to 90% fill both the contradiction form and also the new patient intake with their personal stuff, the motivation stuff too. Can you tell us more about the questions you asked there, like for the personal questions, to kind of
Yeah.
like understand them before the consult?
Absolutely. So on the intake sheet, we ask, things like how's your stress, a moderate, medium,
Mm-hmm.
high stress, moderate stress, no stress, low stress, because that kind of also gives us a little bit about the weight gain or anything like that. Are there any cortisol margins that may be
Mm-hmm.
elevated? So gives us a little bit, behind the scenes, like what's going on with the
Mm-hmm.
client. And then we do ask, like, what are their goals for themselves? What
Mm-hmm.
have they tried in the past? What has worked and what hasn't worked? Are they seeing another wellness space? Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
people mark down like we're going to another weight loss clinic or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the questions that is so important for us is on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to achieve your goals? So when we never see anybody that's like a 3 or a 4. we always see a number like 7, 8, 10, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So when they come in and you're going over that, then I normally say, so Freddie, I see on the intake sheet that you put down that your motivation is at a 8. So what do you think that you would have to do to get your motivation to a 10?
Mm.
So I coach my team that the ball's in their court. Like when
Mm-hmm.
you hit the ball, it's in their court and you have to give them space to answer that question because, and sometimes it kind of stops them, like because the empowerment is in asking that question instead of you giving them the answer.
Yes.
Yeah. So sometimes they'll say, I just need to see the results. And so we always say, you're going to see results, but we also partner up with you, and the accountability is very important. So we really drive that home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love
So,
it.
yeah.
Keep
So
going, sorry.
that's a little bit of the intake sheet. We only spend about 5 to 7 minutes consulting, like sitting in front of each other. And
Mm-hmm.
then we say, okay, we're going to take you to the treatment room. We're going to explain to you how the treatment goes. Do you have any questions? And while they're laying on the bed, then we are continuing to consult with them and asking. So my method is, so majority of the people are coming for the belly slimming. So I actually coach my team that when you're on their left side, you are really digging and finding out what are they eating, how much water are
Mm-hmm.
they taking in, what are their habits as far as food intake, exercise, that type of
Mm-hmm.
thing, what kind of medications they are on. So then when we move to the right side, then we have a better idea of what's happening. And that's when we start saying to them about how many treatments it could take. And we have this amazing special. We've never ever done that before. And that's where we present the sale to them in a very exciting manner. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, you're coming in on such a great day where you're coming in on a welcome package. When you invest in 5, we are adding 5 more for
Mm-hmm.
free to your portal. And
Mm-hmm.
I learned that from you because before
Thank you.
we were just discounting our package and saying
Yeah.
the retail cost of the package is this, but we're going to give you this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been working like crazy, that sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we continue, I would love to address the great things you said. So I always tell it to all of our clients, we don't give discounts because discount is a bit of a cheap thing to do. I don't believe in discounts. But
Yeah.
instead of having discounts, we can have like a bit of like a higher base price, but just give bonus free sessions, right? It feels better, like it's more exciting. You get more things for free. You also give them more sessions. It's a win-win-win for everybody. And the higher, it's like a much higher perceived value, right? Because like if you buy
Right.
5 and get 5 more, it's much more exciting, right? You get like a free bonus. It feels good. You know, they're getting like a nice big package, which is going to cover them and help them get the results. Instead of giving the discounts, I don't believe in giving discounts. So I'm so happy it worked for you. It works well for all of the other clinics we work with. I really like what you said about like the intake form. And I love doing these interviews because every time I talk to a clinic who's doing very well, I learn stuff from you. So maybe instead of having you have to send the intake forms, I will try a way to incorporate it into our system and have like our team make sure we do it for you. And especially knowing like the motivation questions and all of the questions you said, that was really cool. I like also your approach that you're not just doing about the treatment because in the end of the day, like they also need to like make sure they don't keep doing what got them to the table from the first place or so on, right? Like, it also depends what happens off the table. The accountability part is very important. So I love that you set like good expectations with them. You go about their habits, their health, all of that. So like you really, really care about them, which is great. What other things you do during the consultations that you think are helpful?
Yeah, so we're really giving them a lot of education as long as they're willing to receive it. Some people are very closed off. We've had a couple
Mm-hmm.
of clients just in the last day or so, And they're like, no, I'm not giving up my Coke. I'm not giving up my fried chicken. I'm going to eat my potato salad.
Yeah.
So, and also if their BMI is on, in the really in the red, then you know that this is not going to work for them,
Yeah.
especially when they're not going to make any changes to their
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
So in the wellness space, we just really say, okay, are you doing any weight training? Are you doing
Mm-hmm.
so tell me when you wake up in the morning, tell me what's the first thing that you put in your mouth or what's the first thing that you do.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're saying, oh, I drink coffee, and then we always say, are you open to a change? Are you open to receiving some information that could really make a difference
Mm-hmm.
in your lifestyle? And they always say yes. So that's when we can start giving them a little bit about, like, how about you start with warm lemon water instead
Mm-hmm.
of drinking coffee, because at night your body is already dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are waking up in the morning, you want to gently wake up your system and boost your metabolism.
Mm-hmm.
So that comes with
Okay.
just,
And in terms more of the treatments and the package itself, kind of like if you can share more about like the things you do with
right, right. So, so after we share, we've talked a lot about their
mm-hmm.
lifestyle and things like that. And then we always say, so from what you've heard, how do you feel that this is going to benefit you?
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, maybe they've tried different things and they're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So then we want to make sure that their accountability is matching what we do and
Yeah.
just ask. So you were at a 7, Freddie, when we first talked in the reception room.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you've moved to a 10? And
Mm-hmm.
so when the client says, yes, of course. And then, of course, at the end of the treatment, we're doing their measurements again.
Mm-hmm.
And say they've lost quarter of an inch or half an inch or an
Mm-hmm.
inch. We take the tape measure and we actually show it to them like you were
Nice.
at 36 and a half and now you are at 35 and a half, or you are at
Mm-hmm.
36. So you've lost this much, So we actually visually show
Yeah, it's very
them.
visual for them
Yeah.
to see the results. Yeah.
Right. And so, and then I just say, do you have any other questions? And then are
Mm-hmm.
you ready to move forward with the, the package that we have shared with you?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we just bring them into our checkout process. And if they're looking to finance, then obviously they scan the QR code and we
Mm-hmm.
help them with that. And some people just want to pay cash or debit or credit card.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we really, I am coaching my team too that of course, I'm a very faith driven person. And I just say in the Bible, it says, you have not because you ask not. Like we have to ask for the
Yeah.
sale,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah. So we just ask, just how are you feeling about moving forward? And when they say, oh, I want to think about it. And we had a lot of clients that have walked out and they're saying that they want to think about it. But I was talking to Mona, and Mona's like, okay, what have you tried? And are you willing to maybe say this? And I said, yes, I say that, but my team wasn't saying that. So we had a
Mm-hmm.
sales strategy meeting in the morning. And I said to them, and I said, okay, we have to say, okay, you're wanting to think about this. Is there anything that's not clear to you?
Mm-hmm.
And we want to give you that space to obviously process. So, what kind of questions can we answer for you that
Mm-hmm.
would help you make an educated decision for you to move forward in your
Mm-hmm.
wellness, goals? And so they normally say, I think I'm really good. I just want to talk to my husband. So that's when we say, do you want to just loop him into the conversation, or is there another gray area? Do you feel like you could step outside and maybe make a phone call? So we
Mm-hmm.
try all those angles before we let them walk out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. And which one of these have you found the most helpful?
I think just, and also creating that sense of urgency and just saying,
Mm-hmm.
this special is only good when you first come in on the welcome package.
Yeah.
And and a lot of times, I mean, we've had very few percentage. I know one of the ladies that you've interviewed before, Freddie, I mean, they have great success rate closing
Mm-hmm.
outside of the studio.
Yeah. Post appointment. Yeah.
Yeah, and we haven't had that, but we definitely try. I always say to our team that once they leave here, then they either are talking to another friend of theirs, or they're
Mm-hmm.
just consulting with different people, and people may say, I tried that, that didn't work out. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really best to try and to close them in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Because
yeah,
they can see like a million things and so
sure.
much stuff. Yeah. What type of urgency do you add that you found works well?
Yeah, so we say this is only good today.
Mm-hmm.
And since you're wanting to go home and think about it or talk to your husband or whatever their
Mm-hmm.
situation is, sometimes they'll say, I have to move money. And one lady said this to me, and I said, is your signal low on your phone? Let me put you on Wi Fi so you can just have a space here and you can move your money. And she moved her money and she spent over $7,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So
Yeah.
because she got the contouring and then we also have the facial treatments, so she did that as well. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
And so we only give them until midnight of the day
Yeah.
that they're coming in. We just say, here's our number. You can call, text.
Mm-hmm.
And is it okay if we reach out to you to answer any questions that you may not have had a chance to ask,
Mm-hmm.
or may not have come to your mind? And they're like, generally, they say, okay, yeah, you can call. Yeah.
Nice. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And for so it does happen like that a few hours after the appointment, then they purchase the package and treatment plan.
Yeah, some have done that, not all. I
Yeah,
mean,
obviously. Yeah.
we really try. We reach
Yeah.
out, we text, and sometimes they don't answer the phone call.
Yeah.
So I always say if it's a great candidate, for the treatments, then we want to really make sure that we
Yeah.
can do everything in our power to close
Mm.
them while they're here.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
okay. Like, we're not supposed to convert everybody, but just so you know from your metrics, Sarah, I think your average package, from what I remember, is around 3K with like a close rate of around 50%, I think a bit higher. But your revenue per show, it's more than 1,500. So having like a revenue per show of more than 1,500, it's very, very high. So obviously what you do, it's working very well, you know. So I always say to our clients, you don't have to close everybody, but if you have like 50% with an average treatment plan of 3K and revenue per show of 1,500, it's amazing. Like it's really,
Yeah.
really good. It's really, really
Yeah.
good. Just so you know.
Well,
I
one
wish all of
thing,
our clients would be at
yeah.
1,500 per show. Yeah.
Right. I was going to say, Freddie, so the reason we're doing those margins is
Mm-hmm.
because we do share a smaller package with a client if it's,
Mm-hmm.
we sense that they are not willing to
Mm-hmm.
purchase a 3K package, or, higher 2,000
Mm-hmm.
package. So we normally say, oh, if they're saying, okay, what about my legs? What about my belly? So we always say, how about we are giving you five for free on a investment of five, we add
Mm-hmm.
five for free. So say that we spent 7 sessions on your tummy, you have three left and you can apply those somewhere else. We could tone
Nice.
your legs. That way,
Nice.
they are not thinking, okay, I can just get the smaller package. Okay.
Nice. I
Yeah.
love
And
it.
another
I
thing I
love it a
wanted
lot.
to share is that if they're really not purchasing a bigger package, we always say, how about you start with investing three and getting two free? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This way you're locked in on the promotion that you're coming in
Mm-hmm.
at. So that way you can purchase down the road, you can invest five and get five free. And they're like,
Nice.
oh, okay, I can do that.
I love it so much. It's great.
Yeah.
So even if they're not ready, we do a smaller one to get the commitment and told them like they can still do the welcome package later and telling them, look, let's start with this one. So if you do have some left for other areas, because you mentioned you wanted to do the other body parts, that's great. Because having a lifetime value per patient, or like having like an average like order value, an average bigger package and treatment plan, it's great, right? It allows you to have like more margins, to invest in the business. So that's really,
Yeah.
really, really good. Is there any other thing that you know now about like consults or sales, Sarah, that you wish you knew when you started? Any other things you want to share?
Yeah, I think I've learned a lot in the last 2 years, but especially in the last a month and a half, 2 months that I've been working with you guys. I absolutely love that the leads are coming in that are qualified, that I don't have to chase the leads because I
Yeah,
was calling people before and trying to book them
yeah.
in. And what I've really learned, one of the biggest takeaway for me is the sale. Like we were discounting stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I even had events where we were discounting our packages 50,
Mm,
60% just trying to survive.
yeah.
Yeah,
So the biggest thing for you, never doing discounts, only giving more free sessions instead, right? Like instead of
right.
saying like, hey, it's a 10 sessions, you get half free, saying like, hey, you buy a five for this price and you get five free was the biggest
Right.
thing.
Right. And when I was actually onboarding with you, I
Mm-hmm.
will say this very religiously. I watched every video, not just once, but two or three times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I really was like, okay, I am going to get super good with this because I know I'm
Yeah.
hiring people and I need to
Yeah.
literally zone in. Yeah.
I love it. Any other things you know now about your business that you wish you knew when you started you want to share with us? And if any parts of running the business or also with the Medspa?
Yeah, this is new to me. I mean, I'm learning every
Mm,
day. I just
mm,
always tell my team that, we have to be hungry, we have to be learning. And the
mm-hmm.
day that we think that we know it all, that's when we're in danger. But I something that I didn't know before I started this, that the opportunity and the just the growth, how it can happen so soon when you
Yeah.
have the right marketing agency behind you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You told me you do the measurements, and that's been a huge help for you, right? You measure them before, after the treatments. This you can see results in the first treatment, so they can see like the difference, and then it gives them like more faith in the treatment that has been helpful. Any other visual tools you show them like before and afters? Anything else you show them during the consult part?
Yes, so we have just screens, kind of. Let me see if I can show you.
Okay.
There's a screen behind me
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's just kind of scrolling with some before and after
Nice.
pictures. So we have that in every treatment
Nice.
room so they can kind of see, and they usually ask how many treatments has that person had and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Another thing that we've just added probably about a month ago is the StyQ scanner. And now we're
Mm-hmm.
adding that to the contour or
Nice.
the body contour, because the tape measure may not tell the whole story, the weight scale may not tell the whole
Mm-hmm.
story, but the StyQ scanner is amazing where it's doing a 3D body scan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. I love it. So you do have them in the before and afters in each one of the treatment rooms. And do you take photos every treatment or every few treatments so you can have enough before and afters, or what do you do?
Yeah, so we don't take any pictures when they first come in, like in the
Uh-huh.
on the welcome. And once they are signed up in a package, then when they come back for their first treatment out of that package, we do pictures then. And then
Mm-hmm.
we do pictures on the third treatment
Mm-hmm.
and the seventh. And then, of course, if we have a 10
Perfect.
pack, then the 10th.
Nice.
Hmm.
Nice. And that way you have like a good library to show
Sure.
them.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Just going through my stuff. In terms of like hiring and team building, right? I know. within 2 weeks of joining us, you were getting so busy and like so fully booked. You were like, I have to hire people so fast, right?
Right.
I know that happened. And can you share with me about like your process, your mindset, or like what are your top tips for training and hiring that you feel you've learned?
Yeah, so I've been hiring for different businesses for a while. So,
Mm-hmm.
obviously I have a phone conversation with a person. I go
Mm-hmm.
through, we do advertise on Indeed, and then once
Nice.
the applicants come in, then I do pause the job for a little bit so I can kind of
Yeah.
have some time to process through the applicants. And
Mm-hmm.
I reach out through Indeed as a message and then have them schedule a phone interview. And
Mm-hmm.
then, so recently I've been doing group interviews because I don't have time
Yeah.
to individual interview process. But if you've done a phone interview, Freddie, and then you invite them to a group interview, and then I have one on one again with
Mm-hmm.
selected candidates. So the process, I do ask a lot of questions like,
Mm-hmm.
what are you looking for in a position? What's your experience? Have
Mm-hmm.
you ever had any sales experience? How well do you work with others? How do you take positive criticism? Do you know the definition of, I do have to ask this, do you know the definition of integrity? And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times you get different, definitions. I always say doing the right thing when no one's watching, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because yesterday I was traveling to pick up another unit, and I had two staff members here, and they had some hiccups, like they had some questions, the machine shut down. And
Mm-hmm.
so, you have to have trust in these people, right?
Yeah.
So you're leaving your entire baby that you've built and you're
Yeah.
putting it in their hands. So you want to make sure that I do ask for references. And I do say, if I were to call your previous employer, what would he or she say about you?
Mm-hmm.
And and a lot of times they're like, I just don't know, and that in my book, that's a red flag. Like, you don't know
Yes.
what your boss would say about you, you know?
Yeah.
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 Just really a thorough interview process. I actually have some questions, but I forgot to grab them. They're like literally
Mm-hmm.
over there. If you want me to get
Mm-hmm.
them, I can.
Sure, feel free. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, or
Yeah,
if there's like you can maybe just share the most important ones or like the things
sure. Let me
okay.
just
Okay.
roll you over here and I'll grab them.
Okay. I'll share with you. I want to point out one of the most important things you said. I also do that whenever I hire somebody, which is two very important things. I tell this to all of our clients too. Never hire anybody to your clinic, without calling two references of at least two previous employers. And even if you have a really good candidate, if they don't have like two previous employers to give you that you can call, I would not hire them because there are so many applicants, there are so many candidates you can choose from, and the worst mistake a business can make is hire the wrong person. A
Oh,
business can
yeah,
really go bankrupt. A business can really go like really go down. Can really you can have so many issues if you just hire the wrong person. So that's the biggest thing to avoid. So I would say like really trying to get like at least like one, two references, previous employers and call them. And I like what you said too. It's not just calling them, but during the interview, kind of like putting them on the spot, but not in a too much stressful way, but asking them, hey, just so you know, before we hire somebody, if we really like a candidate, we'll have to call their previous employers as references. I see in your resume you worked at XYZ. What was the name of your manager at XYZ when you worked there? Awesome. And you worked there for 2 years, right? Now, when I call your manager, what do you think he would tell me? So kind of like putting them a little bit on the spot, and
yeah,
telling them, hey, like tomorrow I'm going to call your manager. He just gave me his name. What do you think he would say? And if they do seem very confident, they're like, oh, such a great person. We had it in a good terms. It seems like more you can trust them. But obviously, if they are not the best employee, then they were probably not the best employee. These places, they would probably tell you, oh, don't call him. Oh, I don't remember. Or they might get a bit stressed. And they might get a
sure.
bit stressed because they don't want you to call that person.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's really good.
Yeah.
So I, um, these are some of the I look for confidence in a
Mm-hmm.
person. Of course, you can teach them a lot of things. Like I have interviewed people that come from medical background, a
Mm-hmm.
nursing background, 18, 20 years of background. And so the lady literally sat here, but she was looking this way, she was looking up, and she was looking down. She never made
Mm.
eye contact.
Well,
And
yeah.
that those are some of the things that I look for is where's the confidence? Like if
Yeah.
I can look somebody in the eye and smile and nod and
Yeah.
and that's the culture that we're building is even if you don't know everything, as long as
Exactly.
you can just really zone in and just treat the person like there is nobody else, you are just literally looking
Yeah.
at them in the eyes. So that those are some of the things I look for.
Mm-hmm.
Natural communication, it's very
Yes.
important because if they don't have the communication skills, then it's not going to really work out for
Yeah.
you. Yeah. And ability to educate instead of selling. I want
Mm-hmm.
people that can actually educate because when people trust you, they're going to buy from you.
Yeah.
And that education also shows the client that you know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I do invest a lot in my team. Just really having a sales meeting every Monday morning. I invite
Nice.
them before the studio opens, and we meet and we just say, okay, what went well last week and what didn't
Nice.
go so well, so we can just collectively come together and just
Mm-hmm.
process the previous week.
Yeah.
So even a brief we had our last client at literally at 3 o'clock. She left. And so I said to the team, and I said, okay, briefly share with me what was so great about today and what didn't go so well. And
Mm-hmm.
they're like, everything was great. We had a client that was not a good candidate to purchase a package.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much you can do there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, quickly, work ethic and reliability. I do ask them questions about describe your work ethic to me.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle busy or stressful days? Are
Mm-hmm.
you dependable with schedules and punctuality? What does professionalism mean to you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking for a long term opportunity?
Yeah.
So, and then I give them scenarios, Freddie. A
Nice.
client is insecure about their body and emotional during the consultation. How would you respond?
Oh, I love this. This is so good. These are such good
Yeah,
questions, scenarios.
yeah. And then a second scenario is a client loves their treatment results but hesitates on purchasing a package. What would you say?
This is so
So,
good.
right. And then
I
third
love it.
scenario is client comes in frustrated because they haven't seen results. How would you handle it? Yeah. So, and then I asked them, share your vision with me. What's important to you? What are your goals in life?
Mm-hmm.
Because if a person doesn't have any goals in life, it's
Mm-hmm.
you're really building a mini you. Like I
Yeah.
I have a vision for my business, and my vision is to I don't know. It's God's plan. It's not my plan. I have a vision. I can take it to God and say, okay, this is my vision, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you see? But, you have to kind of not have a tunnel vision. You
Mm-hmm.
have to see the forecast. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's coming in the next 6 months? What's going to be,
Mm-hmm.
where will my business be in the next year, 2 years? And so I'm looking for many owners like myself.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Things to observe in the interview: eye contact, energy level, grooming, presentation, kindness, confidence,
Mm-hmm.
ability to communicate naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Coachability is huge. I do
Yeah.
ask them, are you coachable?
Mm-hmm.
And if they interrupt or do they listen well?
Mm-hmm.
Whether they feel calming or trustworthy to you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my interview process. Yeah.
I love what you said. The thing that I like the most were the scenarios, right? Because you want to put them on the tough scenarios and see how they react to that. Because if I ask somebody is coachable, people can say yes, you know. But when I give somebody a scenario, like it really puts them kind of like on the spot. So I really like this, especially like it's not really a question you can prepare to, you know, because like you want to see like their emotional intelligence, right? Like if somebody is not too satisfied with the results, or if somebody is feeling a bit insecure, right? You want to see like their emotional intelligence and how long does it take them to come up with like the empathy, like the answer that they need to have in their answer. So I
Yeah.
really love this. Another question ahead. I'm curious to know, Sarah. If you can keep it briefly, just like the two main, like, or the few main, the biggest things that you do for your training process to train your team to be good at doing the consults, for example.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time. The two ladies, they are so good. Freddie, I'm so blessed with the two
Yeah.
that I have, and they were quick learners. I sat with five consults myself, and
Mm-hmm.
they sat in the back, so they're not like overpowering the client. And they listened to my consultation, and I
Mm-hmm.
asked them to record my consultation and listen to it over and
Nice.
over and over. So, and then they practice with me, and then I turned them with the client. I said, now I'm going to observe you. So, and if you get stuck, I'm right here. So I will help you with your consultation. And so they sound just like me. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, when I do a consultation, it's like,
Nice.
they're just
Nice.
moving through it. And we have clients booking hour on the hour. A little bit before that, I said to Mona, I said, I'm a little nervous. Can we do hour and a half? And she's like, how about hour and 15? I love Mona. And I
Yeah.
said, okay, well, I'll go with your flow. Let's do hour and 15. And now we're booking every hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sarah. Before I continue to the last part, any other tips you wanted to share with us about like hiring, training, or you feel like we covered anything that's okay too?
Oh, one thing I wanted to share is I do background checks on my
Mm-hmm.
employees. Yeah, I want to make
Mm.
sure that I do a military background check because that just tells me everything. So before I run a background, I always ask the candidate, is there anything in your background that would be a concern? And
Mm-hmm.
I let them know like this is going to be a very thorough background. If there's anything that you want to share, because it's all going to show up, and then, if it's not good, then we're not going to be
Mm-hmm.
able to move forward. And sometimes people come forward initially, they've said, no, everything is good. When I really stress, like, we're going to do a really good, thorough background check. And then they're like, okay, 4 years ago, this happened, that happened. So,
Mm-hmm.
so, so because you don't want to waste money trying to run
Yeah.
a background check because you're trusting these people with your business, with your clients.
Yeah.
So that's important. That's what I wanted to share with you as well.
Nice. Is it like use like a third company for that or?
Yes, I go through a company that runs the background check, and it's like it literally shows up everything. It's expensive on my behalf, but I want to make
Yeah.
sure that I am doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So they are treating my equipment, my,
Yeah.
of course, customers,
Yeah.
and some people are bringing cash. Like we have a lady, she's literally bringing thousands of cash. Like she's like, I know as a business owner, you will have to pay credit card fees, so I'm just going to bring you cash.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a
Yeah,
sweet lady.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that people are
Yeah.
trustworthy. Yeah,
I love what you said. One thing I want to mention, maybe it's expensive to do a background check, but it's way more expensive to hire the wrong person. That's the
that's
most
right.
expensive mistakes we can do,
Yeah.
as business owners. So thank you for sharing all of that, Sarah. Kind of like to summarize, how's been your experience with Bluefer so far?
Freddie, I cannot tell you. Every time I speak with Mona, I'm like, please make sure that you tell Freddie. Please, I thank you so much. I am so humbled and I am so, so excited. I
Aww.
was working with somebody that was really charging astronomical amount of money.
Hmm.
And I remember this person saying, well, Sarah, I know what I'm doing because we just sold $1 million this year. And so
Mm-hmm.
when I heard that number, and I was like, wow, that's very long, far off for me,
Mm-hmm.
because some months we were just doing 8,000, some months it was 10,000. There were months, Freddie, that I barely did 3,000. It
Mm-hmm.
was really, but now I have to pinch myself. I'm like, is this really real? I and I always say I don't want to ever be not humble. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for your
uh,
team. Yeah. I just love you guys.
thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I really appreciate it. What would you say to somebody who's considering working with Bluefer and they're on the fence of trying it?
Oh my gosh, there is no need to be on the fence. You just have to jump in. A friend of mine told me about you, and so she gave me your number. I immediately booked a call, and as soon as I got off the call, I'm like, okay, I'm so excited. Let's go. I'm ready. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you please don't be on the fence. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sarah. We are so blessed and so grateful to have you as a client. It's been such an amazing experience working with you. Like it's been so fun seeing you growing so fast, right? From doing like around like an average of $10,000 a month all the way to last month we did $91,000 in 1 month. And you only been with us for 60 days. You only started literally 2 months ago. So such a big growth in such a short time. I'm so excited to see what the futures hold for us. And again, I'm so happy to have you as a client. I'm learning so much from you, for this interview too. So I'm so grateful to have you. Do you have any like final words or advice for anybody else in the industry? It doesn't have to be related about Bluefer, just any message you wanna, for us to end the video with.
Yeah, and I'll say this, if you have the desire in your heart to do something amazing, just don't be on the fence. Just jump in,
Mm-hmm.
because, it's every day is a learning curve. Every day is a new day that you are, and
Mm-hmm.
building a business it sounds like, oh my gosh, I have to climb a Mountain Everest. But every day I always say, have I pushed my business up the ladder one
Mm-hmm.
rung today? What did I do today to
Yeah.
push my business up? That's all you have to do. And consistency is the key in
Yeah.
anything that we do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm so honored. Thank you for having me. I hope this helps a lot of people, because, we learn from each other. And I learned so
yeah.
much by watching the videos that you sent me.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sarah. Again, I really appreciate you jumping on the call. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and have a great day, everybody. Bye bye.
You too. Thanks, Freddie.